So, I'm finally done with exams, just had my final one, and now I am free to do a lot more Pokemon. So let's try and get 3 matches in this episode to make up for all the 1-match episodes that we've had before. Wow, my rating is bad. I blame this team though, I don't think it's the best team. I am surprised I managed to get 14th with it at a regional, but there we go. I can't even claim that it was because of my Coco, because I didn't actually pull off the mirror move at all during the tournament. So there we go. But yeah, I'm going to use it for two more episodes, and then we can retire it and move on to something a little bit different. And I'll probably be using a lot more fun teams, because I don't have a tournament for, I think my next one is in March. I've got over over a month until my next major tournament. So I can just use a load of fun stuff until then, and then I'll probably feature the team that I use. I'm going to find someone from Germany with fairly standard team. That Mandibuzz looks annoying, but if it's got the Psychic Seed, then I can Wild Charge him on the physical side, which is nice. Now, do I want to match Tailwinds with his Murkrow, or accept that he's going to get Tailwind? Because if I bring Murkrow as well, then he's got his Lele that can stop my Feather Dances and Quashes. So, like, my Milotic looks like a pretty good lead, because then I can Toxic the Mandibuzz. If I get rid of the Kartana, then my Milotic pretty much just wins. Can't live a Shattered Psyche though. So those are the only 2 things that would threaten the Milotic properly. And maybe I want Goodra in the back, because then I can switch in the Leaf Blades from the Kartana. But I do want my Coco. I don't think I want his lead in case he leads with his Lele, because then he'll get up his terrain. I want it in the back. I do need my Kartana for the Gigalith. So I'm going to go with Goodra and Kartana and Coco in the back. Except that he's going to get Tailwind, stall it out with Milotic, and then win. So, let's see how this goes. Mandibuzz can be annoying, because it gets so bulky with its seed, but then I do have my physical Coco, which is really nice, because the special Coco, even in... No, it's outside electric terrain, but because you get the seed activation, but it's a 3-shot with Thunderbolt, whereas Wild Charge in my electric terrain will be a 1-shot, so that's what I'm going to go for. Kartana and Mandibuzz, okay, so I led off with my Goodra, which was probably a mistake. So now I need to switch my Milotic straight out. I wish I had Protect. I really wish I had Protect. But I'm going to switch out into Kartana. And he could Protect from my Flamethrower, but basically I'm focusing down on the Kartana. If Kartana gets KO'd, then Milotic pretty much just wins. So it's going to be worth sacrificing my Sash here, because a Leaf Blade won't put me in foul play range. He would have to switch out in something else that could KO me, and Sacred Sword won't KO me after a Leaf Blade either. It's a combination of Sacred Sword and foul play will KO me, but then it doesn't matter that my Sash was broken. So, unless he switches out here, then we should be good. But he should ideally just Leaf Blade. No, he does switch out. Oh, we could have got the Toxic off. It's going to be into Garchomp. Okay. Fair enough. Now, Flamethrower shouldn't put him into Leaf Blade range. He is going to Tailwind here. There's no way he's not Tailwinding. We do outspeed Mandibuzz with Goodra, which is interesting. So he's going to have almost no speed, but there is the Tailwind. So double up onto Kartana would knock it out, but surely the Protect is quite obvious, but then again I could still be Assault Vest, so I'm going to Protect. And I guess just Draco into the Garchomp, because my plan of beating Mandibuzz is going to be Toxic Milotic. So he's not protecting Garchomp, so it could be a Dragon Claw into Goodra, but I do live, but not a double target of Dragon Claw and Foul Play. So this should be fine, because he should be Foul Playing into Kartana. Okay, nice. Because now if we connect, Garchomp gets KO'd, which it does. Very nice. Unless he's Assault Vest. Assault Vest can take it, but then he's not Tectonic Rage. He is Assault Vest, okay. Awkward. Now again, he needs to double target into my Kartana for the KO. So I'm going to lose one of my Pokemon here, and then I'm going to be able to protect with my Koko as he Earthquakes, which will be really nice. I do want to save my Milotic, because my Milotic is nice. But then, no, I still need to save my Kartana for his Kartana now, don't I? So I do need to switch out into Milotic. And I will Flamethrower the Garchomp, because then it will cover a Kartana switch, and it won't knock it out, and it will put him into Faint range. That would be the most ideal, I think. Because then I won't even need to protect, or like switch out my Milotic again. It is just Earthquakes, that will knock out Goodra. But then Milotic will survive this. Pretty reasonably. And there's one more turn in Tailwind. So we should take this pretty well. It's just not a two-shot. Now. I do want to go into my Koko. Even though he could potentially have his Lele in the back and reset my terrain. So do I want to recover this turn? Get my Electric Seed, which means I guarantee live with Milotic as well, which is really nice. So, do I recover? I think I recover. And I need to protect from the Earthquake. Now he should switch out. Because this is a very obvious protect from Koko, he should switch out. Then again, he needs to leave his Mandibuzz in to get his Tailwind back up. And if he doesn't leave in his Garchomp, then that's incredibly risky. He switches out his Mandibuzz, okay. That's reasonable, and there's Lele, okay. So I can Z-Mirror move the Garchomp, but that's not going to be optimal. Because then I'll lose my Koko to the Psychic. It was just Poison Jab, so I'm going to get full health with Milotic, which is nice. His Tailwind's gone. So, how do I deal with his Kartana in the back now that I've lost my Goodra? That's an interesting question. I can knock out his Garchomp now. I can't knock out his Lele. Now, if I switch out into Kartana, then a double target will knock it out. An Ice Beam, Garchomp, and I am going to switch out into Kartana. I think my electric terrain is important. Even though if Kartana goes down here, I really don't have much for his Kartana. Should have definitely preserved Goodra. I think leading with Kartana instead of Goodra would have been better, but then I was, I guess, scared of the Arcanine, but then I have no reason to be because I led with Milotic as well. So, I guess that didn't really make sense. He should set Shattered Psyche into my Kartana here, yeah. Okay. But now I can Zima remove the Garchomp and get a Schooled off onto Lele. No, I can't Zima remove Garchomp because it's being KO'd. I should have Scalded the Lele. Because now I can't Zima remove the Shattered Psyche. Not so good. Yeah, there were a couple of things that I didn't really think through too much. Oh, and I did flinch, didn't I? Of course I flinched. Wonderful. But that means I can Z-Mirror move the Garchomp, so actually the flinch I think was more optimal. So I'm going to Z-Mirror move the Garchomp, because a Continental Cross should still knock him out. And I'm going to Scald into the Lele. Now hopefully we catch a Kartana and burn it. That, I think, is one of the only ways we're going to get back into this match. Do not switch your Garchomp. That's fine. Let's catch this Kartana and burn it. Okay, Mandibuzz is fine, because that, like, even in his Psychic Terrain, now I'm going to get to +2. This will be able to KO the Mandibuzz. We've seen he's not Scarf Lele either, as well, which is nice. So this Continental Crush should knock out the Garchomp. It's not the Earthquake going into Tectonic Rage that I theoried, but this is still knocking out a Garchomp with the Zima remove. Continental Crush Koko, interesting. This should knock out. Because this is effectively neutral, it's not very effective because of the +2 boost. But that'll knock out Garchomp. We are now at +2 with Koko, so we do have a chance. We do have a chance. Especially with the Electric Seed as well, we will live a Kartana Leaf Blade, which will actually be very big. So, can Wild Charge the Mandibuzz. Now I think this is the key turn. Does he protect in Tailwind? Does he attack in Tailwind? Let's see if we can work out which. Okay, so if he protects in Tailwinds, then he runs the risk of me knocking out his Mandibuzz. But if he just attacks, is there a way I can punish? Which one is more likely? Because he's got his Kartana in the back. So he surely wants his Tailwinds, and even if he loses his Lele and gets up his Tailwinds, then he still theoretically should be in a good enough position. I think I will attack the Lele. I think I'm going to attack the Lele. I'm going to attack the Lele. This is a mistake. Do not protect your Lele in Tailwind. Okay, we called that correctly. This should KO at +2. Even though it's not in my terrain. Nice, nice. So now, we need to deal with that Kartana. Oh, that's not good. So he gets his Tailwind now. We can't protect with Milotic to stall it out. Okay. Brave Bird does about 70% at +2. Does he Leaf Blade into Koko, or does he Leaf Blade into Milotic? I'm going to go with him Leaf Blading my Milotic, and we do live. So an Ice Beam, plus Brave Bird. Should knock out Kartana. If he Leaf Blades Koko, that was good read from him. Okay, Leaf Blades the Koko. And we do get KO. So if we'd have protected an Ice Beamed, then... Well, next turn he just Leaf Blades the Koko anyway, so we need to freeze now. We still could... Yeah, we need to freeze. We still could live a Leaf Blade from this range, but not... Freeze? No freeze. Okay. Yeah. Even with our Electric Seed, I don't think that's enough, so... Protecting the Koko would have been better, but he... got the call at the end. Maybe he remembered his Electric Seed. Okay, we don't even live that. And that wasn't a crit, so fair enough. Yeah. Because we only just lived the Kartanas, so that must have been... Well, based on that damage, he must have been Assault Vest. Or, no, maybe not even Assault Vest. Maybe just not Sash. But especially defensively invested. But if we'd have protected Koko, Ice Beam was a 2-shot. So then we could double into the Kartana, Brave Bird, or Ice Beam knocks it out. And then we're left with a 1-on-1 with either Milotic or Koko, and both of them meet Mandibuzz. So yeah, protecting the Koko was the play. But I expected him to Leaf Blade into the Milotic, just seeing a super effective Mon. But he made the correct play, so fair enough. Was there anything else that I could have done differently? Because I lost my Goodra, which was the main check to Kartana very quickly, which was not a good idea. I should have led Goodra in the back, because he did switch out his Kartana straight away, so it was interesting he chose not to attack when he saw a Milotic and a Goodra, but then he would have expected the Flamethrower, so Garchomp switch did make sense. So maybe if I left Goodra in the back and led with my Kartana and my Milotic, then I could have switched Milotic into Goodra that turn. He should have stayed in, because he isn't threatened by my Kartana with a one-shot with a Sacred Sword. So he would have been able to stay in, he would have Leaf Bladed my Goodra as I'd have Sacred Sworded him, he would have got a Tailwind, but then I'd have been in a really nice position because he would have been forced to switch his Kartana or lose it. So that is probably what I should have done. But now let's move on to this next game. Going to see a Porygon for the first time in forever, but Incineroar should be a good lead, because preventing Trick Room will be nice. He's got no Tapu of his own, which is nice for me, because now my Wild Charges will stay strong. Now, My low tick, again, looks like it will win if Kartana disappears. So leading with Incineroar, I think, makes sense. Do I want my own Kartana here? Because he's got Intimidate with Gyarados. I can Sacred Sword everything on the right for super effective damage. Do I want Kartana or Goodra? Because I'm bringing Coco. Because if I can prevent Trick Room, Coco has the potential to sweep. So, Goodra or Kartana? Goodra resists the Kartana Leaf Blade, so it is a nice switch in if he leads with Kartana. Can do a lot of damage to the Drampa, but not so much to everything else. I think I might still go with Kartana. Hopefully we catch Gyarados lead. That would be very nice. That would be the most ideal. But if there's a Kartana lead, I can just fake out an Ice Beam, but... Or I can just... No, I can switch to Goodra and Flare Blitz. That would be... I didn't bring Goodra, did I? I can switch to Kartana and Flare Blitz. Watch him lead Kartana and me regret not leading, or having Goodra in the back. Porygon and Araquanid, that is not what I expected, and not actually so good, because now I can't stop his Trick Room. So, maybe my option is to just completely stall it out. I'm going to fake out the Araquanid, and I'm going to Toxic the Araquanid. He could Protect and Trick Room, and that is horrible, but I can't Roar the Porygon because he just... Whoa, that did so much for a fake out. I guess I am Life Orb, but still. Araquanid outsped my Milotic. What could it have been going for? Surely it doesn't outspeed. Because he's gone for Trick Room. No way your Araquanid outspeeds my Milotic. What could he have been going for? Araquanid doesn't get a priority move. So Araquanid outsped my Milotic. I'm really confused about that. I'm going to switch into Kartana. And Toxic the Porygon. But that's really confusing. How did his Araquanid go before my Milotic? I guess we're going to see the speed tiers this turn. But that was strange. Yeah, because he's going for the Water Z move. So why did Araquanid flinch before my Milotic? Because he didn't protect. What could he have been going for? Does Araquanid get a priority move? Could have been going for Wide Guard, I guess? Wide Guard against an Incineroar and Milotic? No. Doesn't seem to make sense. Did he double up into my Kartana? Because that would be a nice play. But I should never try attack. I don't ever try attack. He probably got the special attack. No, he wouldn't have got any special attack in Priest. Kartana is just terrible. But now I can fake out again, which is nice. So, I can fake out the Araquanid. He will take another turn of poison damage, so he is definitely racking up on the Araquanid. We know he's not a Super Berry, because he's just used his Z move. So, this is nice. This is setting up for the Coco sweep at the end. Because I can fake out, sacrifice my Incineroar, protect with Coco. That's the plan. Even if he protects and just try attacks, then who cares? I'm going to fake out, and I'm going to just Scald the Porygon. I don't see any reason to Scald the Arachnid, it would do almost no chip. I could recover with my Milotic, but I'm only taking a Tri-Attack most likely. Because he has Tri-Attack, he almost certainly doesn't have Thunderbolt. This is nice damage. Like, Arachnid might even get KO'd next turn. Tri-Attack into Milotic, it looks like. That did reasonable damage, but Scald will do about 15%. So, just racking up the poison, so when he recovers it doesn't do that as much. I don't know, maybe Araquanid isn't in poison range. Maybe I should Scald it. So I want Coco rather than Incineroar. Because I'm expecting him to have Kartana in the back. So I'm just going to try and Flare Blitz the Porygon, and I'm going to recover. So I need to be at full health to take the Leaf Blade from the Kartana. So I'm losing Incineroar here. Having Protect would be very nice, but I do not have Protect. So there was nothing I could do. The main reason I don't have Protect on a few mons is so that I can get the free switches, because like Sacred Sword onto Incineroar would mean that I could Z Sacred Sword him back and things like that, but the theory does not seem to be working out as well as I had hoped. Having Protect on my Milotic would have been nice, but this is one of the... yeah, so close. This is one of the showings of Toxic being really good. Because now it's really starting to rack up. And he doesn't have a Tapu to switch in, even though I would have lost the Terrain Tussle if he had a Tapu initially, because I've lost 2 Pokemon. Now I've got my Electric Terrain for 5 turns. So... now I will just Protect, and do I recover, or do I get some more damage onto the Porygon? I'm definitely protecting Coco. It's so readable, but he still could very easily just make the safe play, because he is up 2 Pokemon. And I think I'll recover, because I don't want to be in range of a Leaf Blade of his Kartana. He should probably be in Wild Charge range after the round of... oh, Leech Life instead of Liquidation. So I could have just attacked. Well, that's nice, that's nice. But then, yeah, Scald was more optimal, it seems. But Araquanid is going to go down. Trick Room is going to expire. So, let's see what his last 2 Pokemon were. What did he have? Muck, Kartana, Gyarados. Gyarados would be reasonable. I hope it's Gyarados. It won't be, but it could be. I think I might need to double up into that Porygon to knock it out if I was going to. And he went for Shadow Ball as well, so I can't see Shadow Ball him. That wouldn't do anything. Send in your Gyarados. Go on, Gyarados. Gyarados, do it. You know you want to send in Gyarados, even though it's a terrible switch in. Drampa. Okay. Now, he can't Dragon Move my Coco. Hyper Voice will do a lot, though. But I am going to Wild Charge Porygon. In fact, I think Hyper Voice might even knock out my Coco. But I'm going to double up with a Wild Charge and an Ice Beam, because that should be enough. And Ice Beam will be redirected onto the Drampa if Wild Charge is somehow enough, if, say, like, I crit or something. Okay, Ice Beam's not going to be enough. I was expecting more than that. Freeze the Poison Porygon! Oh, that's really unfortunate. That's really bad. Oh, I should have Scalded. Oh dear. Because that was Thunderbolt as well, so I could have Mirror Move that Thunderbolt. I guess it wouldn't have done that much, but say it's Kartana, I could still be in with a shot. Right, actually no. It is Kartana, but I wasn't actually in with a shot, because now he just Thunderbolts my Milotic, I can't protect, and then he knocks out my Kartana. Knocks out my Coco with his Kartana. Not so good. So I'm going to Mirror Move his Kartana to hopefully get a Bloom Doom off, and I'm going to lose my Milotic here, so I guess I'll just Ice Beam. Because I am losing it to a Thunderbolt this turn. Unless he just Hyper Voices. Hyper Voice would make more sense. Yeah, Hyper Voice is going to KO me. So, say I Scalded instead. No Trick Room. Then I would survive... no, I wouldn't survive a Leaf Blade with my Milotic. So then he can just freely Leaf Blade it with his Kartana, and then there is nothing much I could do. So I think I was probably losing that either way. Him leading with Araquanid was actually really annoying, because my way of stopping Trick Room is roaring with my Incineroar, and I cannot do that if he's threatening the Oko. But this is not going well. This is 4 losses in a row. Yeah, not so good. But one more, because it's three matches in this episode, and we are going to win. We have dropped into the 1400s, which is unfortunate. But there we go. I'm going to blame the team, because I don't think it's actually a very good team at all. So 1473, not a good rating. I'm probably going to reset my rating after we finish this round. Or finish the last couple of episodes with this team. Not so good. Let's pick another bit of music. I'll just keep pressing left until we find someone, and then it will randomly pick. So So because he led with Arachnid and with Porygon, then still agree with my Milotic lead, but if I'd have led with Koko, then he was in an awful position. He would have been forced to protect in Trick Room, but then I could switch out my Koko into my Kartana, although that it did get KO'd to the double target, which was unfortunate. If it had lived the double target, I think I'd have still had a pretty reasonable shot. Ethan in Australia, interesting. I didn't see what music got picked, but that's another Trick Room team. And Incineroar is my way of stopping it. But if he leads with Hariyama, then we have to trade fake outs, and he could just very easily close combat my Incineroar. So actually, I think I might even go with Murkrow this time. Oh, but he's got Lele as well, which is really unfortunate, because then I can't just straight up Feather Dance everything. He does actually have almost nothing for Milotic. So that's actually reasonable. Still go with Koko, because outside of Trick Room it will win. Now, Kartana was useless last time, so let's go with Goodra. Is it worth bringing Incineroar? Or do I just accept Trick Room? Let's just accept Trick Room this time. And hopefully not make it three losses in the 3-match special. We'll see. So I've got to think of some new teams now, because be moving on from this one. I've got a couple of ideas. They're again just theories. It'll just be theories. Like this team was. This team was a theory team, and the theory worked out at the time somehow, but it's not that good. Not a very good theory. Just the Koko. I would hold on to the Koko and put the Koko on a different team, but okay. Something to make a note of is that Muck is a dark type, so I cannot Feather Dance it. Something I did in the tournament. So I definitely want to... What I want to do now is switch out into Koko, activate my Electric Seed, and he can't knock off my Milotic Seed anymore. He won't be Poison Jabbing the Murkrow. If anything, he's going to knock off one of the Pokemon, and I'm fine taking a knockoff with either. I'm going to Toxic the Porygon, and then I'll switch my Koko back after I've protected. So this will put my Milotic in a really nice position. The only problem would be if he starts cursing with his Muck. So I definitely didn't want to lose my seed when I could just very easily get the +1 defense and put my Milotic in a really good position. We hit the Toxic, which is nice. Or is it going to be a curse or a knockoff? I wouldn't expect any other move. Okay, Thunderbolt, so no Trick Room. Interesting. And it is a knockoff into Milotic. Perfect, so we got the seed off before he knocked us off. So now surely he's more inclined to go for Trick Room. And I don't want to waste my mirror move just like that. So I think I'm going to switch back out into Murkrow. And try and get burn on Muck. If I get a burn on Muck, then I look really nice. But my plan in this match is going to be win with Milotic, although he does have Thunderbolt on his Porygon, which might make things a little bit more awkward. Especially when I've just set up the electric terrain for him. Burn? No burn. So there's the Poison Jab. Should take that fairly easily. That was not easily. That was way more than I was expecting. I am a very specially defensive Murkrow, but still interesting. So now we can Thunderbolt into my Milotic, and that won't be so good. I can't protect either. Protecting would just be so nice right now. What boost did he get with Porygon? Oh wow, I'm flashing red, so I need to get my charger. Good thing I noticed that. That would have been a bit awkward, it's just disappearing, but he's +1 attack, so Milotic should survive the turn. I'm going to Snarl. and recover. We did see his poison touch Muck, didn't we? That was quite unfortunate. Okay. Lose Murkrow, so we could have quashed, but that would have done nothing. Reasonable damage. A Para would have been very nice there. Because then we'll be slower in Trick Room most likely. So it will be nice if it gets the Para. And poison is racking up, but a little bit too slowly. I'm going to go into Goodra. And I'm going to switch back out into Coco to take the knockoff. Because I can't protect. How many turns of Trick Rooms there? Are there only 2? Please be 2. I knew there was 3. Okay. Do I just eat the knockoff? How much special attackers did he have? He had a Lele. I think I might need to start getting damage onto the Muck. How many turns of electric terrain were there? 2 turns. No, I think I'll just eat the knockoff. And I'll recover again. Yeah, he is going for knockoff, so I could have switched out. That did so much. Like, and the poison touch as well. Oh, it's really unfortunate. Because now that might put us into poison jab range where I don't think we would have been before. Get the Para. No Para. Do a lot. He shouldn't be Super Berry. Because he's not Gluttony. If he is, I'm going to be really annoyed. That's really annoying. Be Citrus. Super Berry non-Gluttony. And the Poison Jab or Poison Touch has got 2 poisons, so being the most optimal not having Gluttony this match, but that's really annoying. Right. Now I need to predict the recover from the Porygon. So I'm going to Draco again. So I'm going to be losing my Goodra anyway. And I'm going to get the burn on the Muck as he recovers with his Porygon. Okay, Poison Jab plus Thunderbolt shouldn't be enough to knock us out. And if he went for Thunderbolt, which he did, that would be really unfortunate. I'm going to crit this Draco. That was not a crit. Can we get a burn at least? Gets all the poison touches and we don't get any burns. Look at that toxic damage. Is he in faint range? He's a Porygon, so no, he's not. The electricity disappeared. But I just needed one less turn of Trick Room because now he knocks out Milotic. Having Protect would have been lovely. Now, I want to switch hands to Coco to reset the drops, but I don't think I can afford to do that. So I'm just going to double up again. I'm going to try and recover. I'm not going to be able to. But I need somehow sweep with Coco. Yep, that's why I didn't switch out to reset the drops. Not so good. This has not gone well today, has it? Oh dear. We did pull off a Continental Crush though, which is nice. But it really is time to move on to a new scene. Still got one more episode to go though. Need to get some redemption with that. Yeah, see, leading Incineroar this game would have been actually way better. Because then I was easily able to roll. It's Lele, so he's going to get up his terrain. But we're going to get an Acid Downpour with Coco. This episode has just been about getting those, like ticking off those mirror moves. Because we haven't done an Acid Downpour yet. I don't think I've even seen Acid Downpour in, well, at least in my game. So, nope, no, wrong one. Do not Supersonic Sky Strike. See mirror move. See mirror move. There we go. Acid Downpour, Coco. Don't be Scarf. good. Okay, Acid Downpour Coco is making up for all 3 losses. Here we go. This one's going to be the thumbnail. I think Acid Downpour will be the thumbnail over Continental Crush. This will knock out because it's, again, effectively neutral. Easy KO. That was cool. Don't really see Acid Downpour onto a muck, so it's nice to see it kind of like just dissolve, but here comes a Shattered Psyche in return. And that is going to be the game. So not a good episode. That's 5 losses in a row with this team. One more episode to try and redeem, but not a good team. Not a good team. Very surprised I got top 16. Look at that rank. Perfect. Spot on. But Coco is not surviving this. It went down pretty slowly, I think it was a roll. But yeah, not good. Not good. Couldn't deal with Trick Room in the second game because he led with the one thing that would stop my Trick Room. And then in the second game, tried to cover for what happened in game 2, and then he led more optimally against our lead, which was unfortunate. But there we go. And finally end this suffering, at least for now. One more episode to go. Thanks for watching.